down a little bit more. Why ask about the MSRP? This question is from TikTok. You need to know the MSRP for several reasons. If you're leasing, you need to know what percentage are you paying relative to the MSRP, because the 1% lease rule has always been based off the MSRP. If you got a lease payment and it was 1% of the MSRP, like $40,000 is the MSRP, your lease payment is $400 or less, then you basically stole a vehicle. And that rule has been around since the beginning of time. So when it comes to purchasing a used car, you need to know the MSRP, because how do you know how much you're saving if you don't know the original MSRP? How do you know how much you're saving? For instance, I bought a pre-owned Infiniti truck a little over a year ago. I paid 31 and change. I knew that the original MSRP was 54,545. Without knowing the MSRP, I wouldn't know how much I was saving off the original. And that's the only thing that's really important when you are shopping for a used car and you're trying to make sure you're getting a great price. There's other things you got to be concerned. There's two main things when you're buying a used car. Got to make sure you're getting a great car. You need a quality vehicle. That has nothing to do with price. Then the second thing is you got to make sure you're getting a below market deal and make sure you're paying a great price for it, in which case you must know the MSRP. Great question. Great question. All right, we got Dolan. Dolan will be bringing in questions from all platforms. We're live on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. So just start typing your questions, and we're going to get to as many as we can in the hour. And, if you have a follow-up question, I'm just going to try to blitz through. So you can certainly throw up the next question whenever you're ready, Dolan. I'm 8K under. My credit is challenged. My car is in danger of getting repossessed. What do I do? All right. This one's also from TikTok. I'm 8K under. What do you mean 8K under? I'm probably underwater. I'm going to assume that means you're underwater. Negative equity. If that's the case, then what you want to do is you want to get the. So you're at negative equity, but then you're also behind on payments. I mean, you got to catch up on the payments. I mean, you could try to refinance. You're going to have a hard time. Negative equity, you can't sell it. If you had positive equity, you could sell it. You gotta make money. It's grind time. Like there's certain things in life where we have bills, and the only situation we can do is pray and go and make money. Without money and bills, anyone's going to, this is a hardship, but this is without money or somebody to help you. I can't think of anything. You have a payment due. So, the best thing you could do right now is to focus on how you can make some money so that you can pay the car. Negative equity isn't the biggest problem. The biggest problem is the car is in danger of being repossessed. If the car gets repossessed, now you got to start over. It's not the end of the world, but you're certainly going to have to start over, because you're going to have a repossession on your credit, and you're going to have to buy a car with bad credit. I would be trying to rebuild my credit. That's what I would be trying to do. Make money, and if the car gets taken, you got to start rebuilding your credit. Follow Shonda Martin. She's a great resource on all these platforms. And but yeah, man, money answers to all things. Book of Ecclesiastes. So figure out how to make some money, man. Work overtime, double shift, second job, start a business on the side. As long as it does, you got to make some money. Can't make car payments without money. So go ahead, Dolan. Wish you the best, man. Keep me posted. This one's from Instagram. On a 3-year-old used car, what percentage from original MSRP should I be looking at for a price point? It goes by comparison. You should be comparing. Without something to compare it to, you won't be able to see the actual, what the discount should be. You need something to compare it to. We do these live shows. We got a couple hundred people on here already. The goal is to figure out through comparison shopping what you should be doing and what you should be paying. Hold on one second, y'all. Yeah, so that's the goal. You don't know what a fair price is, what a great discount is, until you are not, until you have other offers to compare it to. That's the problem. Go ahead, Dolan, shoot the next question up. Like, I didn't know that 42% off my Infinity that I got was a great discount until I compared it to the others. I narrowed it down to 4 choices, and then 3 of them were not as big of a discount. And, one of them was, most of them were in the 30s. This particular one was a 42% discount off the original MSRP. Go ahead, Dolan. Oh, this one's TikTok. How do I get the lease rate down? You always, listen, the only way you're going to get a great lease deal is by comparison offers. You got to get at least 5 offers because 80% of dealers are overpriced. And the only way you're going to see that is by looking at other offers. See, most of the questions y'all are going to find out have to do with you shopping for cars the way you shop for other things in life. You shop for everything else. When we get great deals, it's comparisons. Everything we do is a comparison. Now, the only way you have price assurance is through comparison and knowing. If somebody tells you, we guarantee no one will beat our price, or hey, Walmart says you could buy this item and if you find it at a lower price, we'll match it or we'll beat it. See, that's price assurance. That's comparison. That gives you peace of mind of knowing I'm not overpaying. And the only way for you to bring that same piece, the reason why we're able to, and for those of you, if this is your first time on a live with us, type 1. If you've never been on a live stream with me, type a 1 in the chat. See how many first time people we got. How many people first time? What y'all are going to see is what I'm teaching you to do is shop for cars the way you shop for everything else. Because the way you shop for cars now, you don't shop for anything else like that. Okay, Ronnie, I see you, Stoner Kid. Okay. I see you, Amelia. Okay, Batman, good to see you. Edgar. Okay, Paul, we got a lot of first-time people on here. So what you want to do is start shopping for cars the way you shop for everything else. And we get great deals by comparing offers. Now, some of the people I'm going to introduce you to and the way they've gotten their deals is by using what I'm teaching you. Everything that I teach comes out of my new digital book. It's called Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping. 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. So in that, I have 2 systems for how we comparison shop. One's for new cars and leases. You got to get at least 5 offers. And some of you are like, Deshone, how do I get 5 offers? Well, you stay on. We're going to talk about that. It's easy to do when it's online, but you won't see how different the prices are. When you see, man, everything seems overpriced, it's because you're dealing with what I call the 80%. Dealers that are the 80% are overpriced. They're going to charge you as much as they can because they don't think you're going to find the 20% dealers that are going to beat those offers. So when you talk about how to get a lease rate down, like you look at somebody like Danielle. This is Danielle's lease. She just got a lease on an Audi not too long ago. $44,000 vehicle. She paid $550, no money out of pocket. She just gave him $550, drove off. No down payment. So a lot of the things you're going to see, this is the reason why I represent the Unlearn, Relearn brand. Because a lot of what you've been using, you got to unlearn. It's not going to work here. But I'll help you do that. I'll help you do that. So for the launch of my new book, you can get yours for 75% off in my TikTok bio. It's normally $97. It's 75% off while we're on the broadcast. You got 30 minutes. And Instagram bio, you can get yours. And if you're on YouTube and if you're on Facebook, I'll put the link for you guys. Y'all can get yours. But that's how you get lease rates down. Comparison offers. Making people bid for your business. Stop negotiating, guys, and start making people bid. We'll talk more about that. Go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next question up. We're taking questions from all platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And could everybody who shares invite somebody? If you're a sharer, I appreciate it. I always give, we're trying to figure out something special we could do for the sharers because there's nothing, I told y'all, inbox me. If you got ideas, what could we do to reward or come up with something for the sharers? Because you guys are the people who help us spread this message. I appreciate all the new people, but I want to do something special for the sharers. Please DM me ideas of what we can do because we want to make it a regular part of our broadcast. All right, I see you, Sharice. Thank you. All right, go ahead. This one's from TikTok. Can you ask for additional discounts since you're an educator? See, the problem is if there's a rebate, then you'll get it when you reveal it. If there's a first responder rebate, you can't depend on a dealer to tell you about it. Some of the 80% won't tell you about it. Some of the 80% won't give you the whole thing. If it's a $1,000 rebate, maybe they'll tell you it's 500. We don't trust the 80%. When I was in the dealerships, I saw how the 80% moved. The 20% are the people those are the people you have to find. It's not, you can't just walk in. You don't, unfortunately, there's 17,000 new car dealers in this country. They don't have labels on them. There's not one that say, we're the 20% that beats everyone. You have to find them, and you need a great a bidding system. You could do it manually by phone, or you can do it my way by email, copy and paste. So, but you're not going to, it's like people said, well, I have a GM, I get a special price with Ford. I get a special price with General Motors. You can't depend on the dealer you're dealing with to tell you the special price and to tell you the rebates if they have them. The only way you're going to see it is by getting at least 5 offers, and then you'll be able to reveal who gave you the real offer. It's unfortunate, but it's actually better for you, because who's not a good negotiator? Type not me if you are not a good negotiator. Just speaking honestly, you're not a good negotiator. It's not your thing. I consider myself to be pretty good, and I won't do it. All right, Danny said not me. Okay. Rai, sorry, I butchered your name. Lovey, okay. This is going to work for everyone who's not a good negotiator. Now, I am a good negotiator, but I won't shop that way. I'm always going to get bids, because if you're negotiating with the 80%, they're so overpriced. Even when they drop down a couple $1,000s, you're still overpaying. That's the whole point. That's why it's best for you to sit at home where you're in control. You can use my way, which is email. We copy and paste. I have a strategy in my book. It's called 25 to 5, where you're going to connect with 25 new car dealers. This is only for buying and leasing new cars. This is not for used cars. I have a different strategy for that. But you're going to sit at home. You're going to connect with 25 dealers online in about 20 minutes. And that's going to get you 5 offers using my scripts, using my replies. Now, the manual way to do it is to pick up the phone, call, and speak to at least 5 sales managers. But you need to get 5 offers. That's the only way you're going to see how much money that the 80% were trying to overcharge you. Does that make sense? And it goes with the same thing with military discounts. Doesn't matter. Special pricing, employee pricing. You must shop multiple offers, because you can't trust the 80% to actually give you the real numbers. All right. Go ahead, Dolan. Bring the next one in. We're taking questions from all platforms. Did I post that link? The book is not good for used car. Absolutely. That's just my system. You're going to hear me talk about 2 systems of shopping multiple offers and options. One's for new cars and leases. That's called the 25 to 5. One's for used cars. That's called the multiple marketplace strategy. When we shop for used cars, we have a different strategy. You must shop for your best used car offer in a different way than your new cars. It's very different. They're both in my book. Y'all will hear me talk about them on my videos, on my social media videos if you've seen them, and you'll hear me talking about them on the live. 2 totally different shopping strategies based on your goal. All right, this one's from Instagram. When you walk into a dealership, the salesman comes right at you, right away. Can you tell him you're just looking for now, and I'll come get you when I see something? Of course you can. So using what I'm telling you, you should not spend more than 30 minutes in a car dealership ever. Tons of people that you'll see, the more you stick around this broadcast and the more you learn and the more you see our community over here. We've been doing this for 3 years, teaching the public. We've got 1,700 people we've worked with personally, a couple thousand books. People are using this stuff. It's not just the saving of money, it's time. You shouldn't be in a dealership if you're not there to test drive, or if you're not, see, We have something we call shopping, not buying. Very different. That's actually step 4 in my book. There's 7 steps. The last step is delivery. Step 4 is something I call shopping, not buying. You have to learn, if you're going to enjoy shopping and take control of your car deals the way I want you to, that when you are shopping, you are deciding what you want. That's shopping, deciding what you want. You can get your copy of the book in my TikTok bio. Everybody got 30 minutes to get it for 75% off. Somebody on TikTok said, how do I get the book? It's in my TikTok bio. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, you can scan the QR code, or you can go to deshonsbook.com. If you're on Instagram, you can go to my Instagram bio. It's normally $97, but it's part of our official launch. You can get yours for 75% off. So when you are there with a purpose, which means no one can actually talk you into something because you're clear on what you're here for. I'm here to see what I like. I'm here to decide what I want. I got my kids with me. I'm here to see how this vehicle is. It comfortable? This is only for new cars and leases. We don't test drive used cars until the end. That's a different thing. And as I'm answering questions specifically. So when someone asks about a used car test drive, we'll talk about that. For those of you who are leasing and buying new cars, we are there to test drive and decide what we want. That is it. We do not talk numbers in the dealership. Listen, I want y'all to remember this. You will never, using what I'm telling you, you will never talk numbers in the dealership. If you are coming there to see a used car, the deal is made already before you get there. Your numbers, everything should be established online. That's the multiple marketplace. There's a very simple process that you can follow for shopping for used cars. By the time you walk in the deal, who's ever had a dealership that they had to walk out of? If you've ever had a dealership where you had to walk out of, type me if you've ever walked out. Somebody wasted your time. Somebody tried to, whatever. You went there and you're like, man, I'm leaving. This isn't good. I'm glad you did that, but I want you to get to the point where no one can even waste your time. That's what I want you to get to, which means every time you walk in a dealership, for a used car, the deal is made. You're just there to test drive it, verify everything you did online. We'll talk about this. And then you're taking the car, or you're locking up that deal, not taking it because, you're locking up the deal. Now, with a new car, you are there to test drive only. I'm deciding what I want, and here's what, look, you got to be able to ignore this. Let this stuff go. Hey, can I talk to you? Hey, let me just show you these numbers. Hey, we got some real good deals this month. Hey, you know what? Have you seen the specials? Hey, we got a special price. Hey, we're taking off Hey, we're paying over $2,000 for people's trading. Hey, we're buying old leases back. All of this stuff, it got to just be, that junk got to go using what I teach, because that stuff works for other people. It probably has worked on you in the past. Now, you're not going to let people throw you off this agenda anymore. You are literally there to shop, decide what you want, and when you take your card, take the salesperson's card. When you come home, if you like that vehicle, we will be purchasing it and getting multiple offers from home, never in the dealership. Everybody clear? If you're clear on that so far, type clear. Everybody clear on that? Clear? All right, I see you, Dave. Yep, I see you, Danny. All right, go ahead. This one's from Facebook. Carla said, my granddaughter purchased her first car in November 2023. She wanted to lease, but was told she was too young. She's 20. How can she transition from a current car note to a lease car when she turns 21 next year? Great question. Who has a car that they're thinking of replacing? You have a car now. You're thinking about replacing that car. Could be a lease, and you have to replace it. Could be a car you own. Could be a car you're financing. So the first step in my book, it's called 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. Car shopping for people that hate car shopping. First step is the most important question. We must know whether we're going to lease or buy. You have to see that as the foundation of your car deals. You cannot get a great deal when you should have leased, but you bought. It is impossible. You can't get a great deal if you should have bought, but you leased. So that's the most important question. That's step 1. How many years are we keeping the car? Now, after that, here's what you do. You guys who have a car you have to replace, including this young lady, Carla, she asked, you must do an equity assessment. This is step 2. Equity assessment is going to tell you, can you get out of your car clean? Can you get out of your car break even? Can you get out of your car and there's equity there, which means you can put that equity in your pocket or into the next transaction? Or do you have negative equity if you have a loan? So the equity assessment is going to tell you. Now, here's how you do it. You're going to call your bank. If you have a paid off car, you do not need to do this step. You can skip this step. If you have a loan or a lease, you're going to call your bank. You're going to ask for the payoff. I see y'all running the likes up on TikTok too. I appreciate it. Can y'all keep tapping the screen? I appreciate y'all running those likes up. When you call, you're going to ask them for the payoff. The payoff is the amount you owe. Do not look at your contract. Do not look at anything. Call the bank or call the leasing company and say, what is my payoff? Now, if you're leasing, you're going to ask an additional question. Do I have a third-party restriction? Once you have those answers, you end the call. You are then going to go on to the websites that I'm about to mention. You're going to get 6 bids, 6 offers. My 2 favorite words when buying anything. And if you like to save money, these will become your 2 favorite words. Multiple offers. Multiple offers. I love those words. That's how you buy everything else. Multiple offers, multiple options. That's how we save the big money. So you're going to go to carmax.com. This will take you about 20 minutes to do an equity assessment. You're going to go to driveway.com. You're going to go to AutoNation, Sell My Car. Carvana, Kelly's Blue Book, Instant Cash Offer, and Car Guru, Sell My Car. As more people buy cars, we'll keep adding them to our list. Those people are in my book. That's who we get our equity assessment from, because here's what your car is worth, what people are willing to offer you cash for. What's the one word? Some of you have been, hold on, don't bring in the next question until I give you the road, because some of these I got to go a little deep on, Dolan. But you could queue them up. Just get them ready so that, you know, when I call them out, you got them ready. I know you're stacking them. When you look at, you know, getting 6 offers, what's the one word that we don't use anymore? Let's see if anybody was on here. Maybe you were on here for the last couple broadcasts, or a lot of you are new, so you may not know. What's the one word? Good to see you start back up. What's the word that we're not using anymore? And for the new people, you're about to learn. We don't use, let me see if anybody got it. I give it about 3-4 seconds. Okay, everybody's about to learn this for the first time. We don't use the word trade. You don't get maximum money trading anything. I know you've been taught that because dealers have actually taught you to give them multiple transactions in one. You buy your car from them, that's one transaction. You sell your car to them, that's another transaction. And if you get your loan from them, that's a third transaction. All of these are separate transactions. And how big is the money in them? I'll break it down to you like this. You can actually there are companies that only want to lend you money. They don't sell cars. That's how much money is in loans. There's companies and people who just want to buy your car. They don't want to sell your car. That's how much money is in buying cars. So somebody just said trading is convenient, though. If you want to conveniently lose $2,000 or $3,000 because you want to save 30 minutes, then be my guest. I'm talking to the people who are like, Deshone, that's not my thing. And I'm not talking about a private party sale. We're not talking about listing the car on Facebook. We're talking about going to people. All those companies I just named, they literally have a short inspection process and they cut you a check. I sold my lease to CarMax. They won the bid 2 years ago. I walked out with a check. I was there for 45 minutes. Then I brought my parents down because they won the bid for their Mazda. They they taught you that, oh, anything else besides what we're telling you to do is going to be hard. You know, like, oh, you might as well just give us all the business because, you know, anything else is going to be just hard. Meanwhile, what you're putting yourself through is hard. So that's how you do the equity assessment. Now, if you do have a lease, when you go on those websites, there's a question there. It's going to say, is the car owned, financed, or leased? You want to put owned because you just want the true value. And when you put lease, it triggers something on their websites. Don't worry about that. If you don't have a third-party restriction, you can sell direct to anyone. If you have a third-party restriction, you're going to take those offers, and then we're going to call used car managers, because the third-party restriction does not say you can't sell. It says you must sell to a brand of the same dealer, a dealer of the same brand. So if you have a Nissan, you must sell to a Nissan dealer. Here's what that doesn't mean. Go walk into one Nissan dealer. We get bids, we speak to at least 3 to 5 used car managers, we get bids. Are y'all starting to get the sense that everything we do is a bid? And the only way you're going to see how much money you've been losing by not getting multiple offers is to get multiple offers. Everyone I've been working with says, Deshone, there's no way that I would have known how much money was in these car transactions until I started getting multiple offers from home. We don't do this by getting in our car and driving from place to place. We do this by sitting at home and using what online tools have already existed for the last 5-6 years. All right, go ahead, Dolan, bring the next one in. Welcome to all the new people. Everything that we're talking about is in my new digital book, Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. As part of our launch, you can get yours for 75% off. It's normally $97. You got 30 minutes. As part of our welcome offer, get your book. It's in my TikTok bio. It's in my Instagram bio. Click that website before 30 minutes is up and get your book for $24 instead of $97. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, you guys could just click that link that I posted there, deshonesbook.com, or you can scan the QR code. This one's YouTube. Is it best to shop online for a car or go in person to a dealership? You can't do what I'm telling you to do in person. If you're tired of spending the time in dealerships, I'm gonna tell y'all something, and this is 100% God's honest truth. I have not spent more than an hour on a car transaction. I have not spent more than an hour in a car dealership in over 10 years. I've leased since 2015. I got my Infiniti lease then. I leased 2 Infinitis prior to that. I've leased 2 Infinitis. I've leased a Jeep, and I bought this Infiniti truck. I have not spent more than an hour in a car dealership, and my payments are under 1% leases, 42% off the original price on my used car. You don't need, the internet exists. Do you need to walk into the shop that sells TVs and spend an hour there to get a great deal on a TV in 2024? We got a bunch of smart people on here. Do any of you think that you would get your best price on a TV by going into a store that sells TVs? Anybody on here? In 2024, do you think that? No. We got a bunch of no's. So we understand that when we're buying these items out here, we're never getting our best price by going to the store. We're getting our best price by using the internet as it's meant to be used for comparison shopping and to keep you in control. So great question. Absolutely. No, if you ever talk to somebody and they say they learned from me and they spent more than an hour in a dealership, really, I want to get you to the point where you're 30 minutes. You'll probably be an hour at first, but even if you'll probably be 30 minutes because you're there to test drive or you're there to pick up your car because the deal was made online. It's no reason for me to be here for an hour. Only time I'm there for an hour, only time they got you there for an hour is when you're sitting down letting them talk numbers to you. It's the only time. That's the only time. Thanks for everybody who's giving gifts. I appreciate you supporting the broadcast, and shout out to the sharers. What Instagram allows you to do is Instagram, you can hit that share button and you can share, just run down the list of your friends, invite one friend over here. Because I'm telling you, people are going to be mad at you. I don't want to break up friendships, y'all. When your friends find out you've been getting this information, using it, saving thousands of dollars, not spending time, and then they go out here and they shopping the old way, and you didn't invite them to the broadcast, what they going to think about that? Come on. I don't want to damage any friendship. So make sure you're doing your friends the justice of inviting them to the broadcast. Go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next question in. All right. And we're taking questions from all 4 platforms. So just keep typing them. We'll get through as many as we can in the hour. Erica, this one's from YouTube. I purchased a used vehicle from the dealership, and 2 weeks later they called me and asked me to bring it back because the previous owner wanted it back. Can they do that? Mm, mm, that's a nightmare. Mm. Y'all hear that question? Erica purchased a used vehicle. 2 weeks later, they called, asked to bring the car back because the previous owner wanted it back. So it's less about your transaction, and it's more about if the transaction with the original owner was legally closed. If they left the transaction open, now if I'm you, do you have your paperwork? You have all your loan? And here's the most important thing. Has the loan been funded? Is there a new loan attached to that vehicle under your name? Are they in the process of registering that vehicle under your name? Now, here's where you could be dealing with the crap that the 80% of dealers who are scumbags. This is what they do sometimes. They'll take a car from a customer. They're waiting for the title. They technically don't have the legal right. They have the legal right to sell the car, but there's a loophole there probably because they haven't gotten the title from the owner. And if the owner comes in and says, you know what, I changed my mind, and the owner's holding the title. But what I would do if I'm you, somebody got to call me. I want to look at your paperwork. If you have a loan, Erica, whatever bank you're going through, I would call them, and I would call if the bank knows you and they've established an account number for you, and they're like, yes, Miss Maxwell, we know you. Then I'm holding on to the car until somebody comes and pries it from my hands because I have a legal right to this car. There's a loan under my name. You have my money. You have started this process. If none of that's in place, then, and it sounds like, I mean, it sounds like you dealt with a scumbag dealership, but that's what I would do. I'm not just giving up the car because you said, oh, the owner wants it back. The old owner wants it. That's not my problem. You made a deal with me. I have paperwork that is binding. And, you work that out with the owner because that happens sometimes. Dealers do some crappy stuff, or dealers don't cross their T's, dot their I's, and then and then the owner comes in, the original owner who traded the car. That ain't got nothing to do with who you sold that car to. That car is on the road and there's a loan attached to it, or there's been cash paid for it. Now I'm holding on to this car until you legally show me that I need to release this car. And I might call a lawyer and see, can I get some damages out of this? Like, this is just, God, the 80%, we got to put them out of business. And the only way you get these wolves out of business, y'all, is you got to starve them. I'm telling you, the more people that shop online, when you learn how to shop online the right way, people like this won't be able to exist. But because most people are still going in the old way shopping, giving them a chance to do this, keep me posted, Erica. It sounds like it's a terrible situation, but please keep me posted on that. Go ahead, shoot the next one in, Dolan. This one's from TikTok. What's the best practice for buying a car after bankruptcy? If the bankruptcy's been discharged, start rebuilding your credit. I've seen people who went through a bankruptcy. Once it was discharged, they started building credit immediately, and they were up to a 700 score in a year. So, it's the key is not to come out of bankruptcy and start buying stuff. The key is come out of bankruptcy and start rebuilding your credit, because if you can do it relatively quickly. Everyone should be following Shonda Martin. Some of you may know her. She's all over all these platforms. She does what I do, but she does it for credit. She'll do lives. The girl is brilliant, and I tell everybody about her. But that's the whole thing. You should be rebuilding your credit. You can do it quick. Get yourself up to a high 600-700 score, and then go and get a car. That's what I do. Go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next one in. It's another one from TikTok. How do you feel about buying a car with a credit card? I don't. Credit cards are 20-something% interest. I don't carry a balance on my credit cards. Shonda doesn't recommend carrying a balance on her credit cards because the interest is exorbitant, and we would never buy a car with a credit card under any circumstances. Instagram. How do I keep my credit score from taking a hit each time I shop for a vehicle? Okay, good question. Let's go into detail on something I call the bank bidding war. Okay, this is something that I'm sure, unless you guys have been on here before, you've probably never heard. So you heard me say everything is a bid, right? So the same way we make dealers bid for who wins our business, who's going to sell us a car, same way we make the companies bid on who's going to buy our car, that's the same way we make banks and credit unions bid. 1 point on an interest rate on a $30,000 loan could be $1,000. So we're looking, so we take interest, we take shopping for car loans as serious as we take getting bids for the new car. There's thousands of dollars in loans. Remember what I said about 15 minutes ago? There's people who just want to give you a loan. That should tell you there's a lot of money in loans. They don't sell cars. So if there's a lot of money in loans, you're going to see this isn't about relationships. You're either going to be a relationship person or a money person. If you want to be a relationship person, type R. That's going to cost you money in what I'm telling you. If you want to be a money person, if you want to save all the money that you should be saving, type M. That's going to come at an expense of relationships, because your bank is not your friend. They're in the business of making money. All right, I see you, Jennifer. I see, all right, a lot of people typing M's. Listen, if you used to go to dinner with your car salesman, invite him to the barbecues, that's going to change when you start getting bids. Unless he just wants to compete. If he's willing to compete, then it won't change. But going back to what Cindy's asking, how do I keep my credit score from taking a hit? So there's a way you do this bank bidding war. There's 3 rounds to it. 3 rounds to it. The first thing we're going to do is check to see, are there any special interest rates for the car we're shopping for? Because if the bank is offering you 0%, 0.99%, this will only come from the company that makes the car. This won't come from a bank or a credit union. When you see 0%, 0.99%, it's like a finance rebate. It's like they're incentivizing you to finance, giving you very cheap or free money to use. No bank can compete with that. So the first thing you're doing, whether you're shopping for a new car, used car, is checking there. That's round 1 of the bank bidding war. Because if you do see that, there's no other reason to let anyone run your credit. That's what I'm getting. I'm going to get the 0%. I'm going to get the 1.99. Now, if that doesn't exist, now what we're doing is we're shopping for our car, and we're going to lock up our car, get our offers. No one needs your credit. When you're getting offers the right way, no one needs your credit to give you an offer. That's a lie. Deshone, they told me they did. They lied to you. What I tell you about the 80%? The 80% lie. Straight face. Look you in the eye. So we're going to get our offers. Once we find the best offer in the market, we reserve the car. We take that buyer's order. We come home. And now we're going to let tons of people run our credit. Isn't that going to make it go down? Here's how the bank bidding war works, and you can Google this. The credit bureaus allow you to have multiple people run your credit within a finite period of time. Experian has an article on this. They say between 14 and 45 days. If you're letting all these people run your credit within this period of time, what it looks like to the credit bureaus is you're rate shopping. You're rate shopping. They're not going to penalize you for rate shopping. They will penalize you from going to dealer, letting this dealer run your credit, letting this, oh, I'm trying to buy this Chevrolet. Oh, let run my credit. And then here I'm at a Nissan dealer. Okay, I'll take the Nissan Altima, letting them run your credit. You'll be penalized for that. That is not what I'm telling you to do. I'm telling you, don't do that. So when you get your car, you're bringing that home, and you're going to call your bank. You're going to now call your credit union or go on their online portals, and you're going to go to every online lender. I have some listed in my book, LIVESTREAM, Community Credit Union, and you're going to let all these people make offers for you. Because who's seen a case? This is why this is another reason this works so well. Who's tried to reach out to their bank or their credit union to get a rate, and they say you have to have a car first? Who's had that happen? You're trying to get a rate, and they say, well, we can't get your rate. We need you to give us the details of the car first. So now you're trying to make up what you think you're looking for. Yeah, I'm looking for. No, it's because it's not designed to work that way. It's designed to work where you get your paperwork, get your buyer's order, has all the numbers on there, has the year, the make, the model, what you're paying, how much you need to borrow, and then you're calling your banks and credit unions. This is round 2 of the bank bidding war. So you're going to let all those people go and compete. Now, whoever wins that round, you're going to call the dealer the next day, and you're going to say, hey, I got 6.29 from my credit union. But if you guys can beat it, then I'll do the deal with you. This makes the whole price. See, everything I'm telling you to do, if you follow what I'm telling you, the process is easy. You never got to lie. All of those people who taught you how to buy cars and you got to lie, don't tell them you got to trade, don't tell them this, you'll never hear me teach you. You don't have to lie. And the dealers will enjoy working with you, the 20%, because you're now giving them an opportunity. And it's very different, y'all. When you got a car, when you have a finance manager who's trying to beat the rate you got, here's the difference. And we'll get ready to queue up the next question, Dolan, not yet. Here's the difference. When you don't have a finance manager trying to bid and beat what you have, they're going to their banks and they're asking the salesperson, what's the most you think they'll pay? What's the highest rate you think they'll pay? Oh, all right, quote them at this, and then let's see if we can negotiate on the rate. That's what it is when you don't have an offer. But when you give them that, when you found your car, locked it up, and then you call the salesman or you call the finance manager and say, hey, I got 6.29 if you can beat it. Now here's what they're doing. They're reaching out to all their 10, 15 banks and saying, let me see if I can beat this rate. Very different. And only one or two things are going to happen. They're either going to call you and say, hey, look, I tried my hardest. I can't beat the rate. Thanks for the opportunity, but you got a great rate. In which case you have something that we want, which is who knows what we want. When it starts with a P, this is when we guarantee we paid low, the best price for everything. Who remembers? Well, I can't say who remembers because we get new people on this broadcast every day. I swear. All right. Price assurance. So when y'all hear me say price assurance, what that means is you don't drive off anymore hoping you got a good price. Talking to your spouse, hey, you think we could have did better? You think this interest rate was too high? Could we have got a better interest rate? No. Price assurance means you guarantee you couldn't have paid a lower price for the car. Nobody could have paid because you got bids. Nobody could have gave me a lower interest rate because I got bids. Nobody could have gave me more for my old car because I got bids. That's the only way we get price assurance. And all of this is done while you sit at home. So this is in my book, Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. If you want everything I teach in one spot, it's there. You can get your copy for 75% off. It's normally $97. And you can go to my TikTok bio. It'll be in your inbox in literally 5 minutes. The reason it's a digital book too is because things change. Vroom just went out of business a couple months ago. They used to be one of the people who competed for our business. If you guys had, your book and you had bought it and then it was a print book, because some people say, Deshone, is it in print? This is the reason, one of the reasons why it's not. If Vroom is in that print book, what happens? Now I got to jump on live and say, hey guys, volume 2 of my book is out because things have changed. Get your volume 2. I don't want to do that. You get this one time, and then I update it when Vroom went out of business. I updated the master file. Everybody who opened their book, no matter what, it was relevant. And that's one of the biggest reasons why it's a digital book. So you can grab your copy for 75% off, but you got 30 minutes. Once the timer is 0, it goes back up to 97. In my Instagram bio, in my TikTok bio, or you guys can, I'll put the link right here for you guys on YouTube and Facebook. You can go to deshonsbook.com. Oh, wait, I put the wrong one. I put it in my bio here. All right, Dolan, you can queue up the next question. Keep typing your questions, y'all. We got some more time. We're going to try to get through as many as possible. And we're pulling them from all platforms. We're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on Facebook, and we're on YouTube. So we're pulling questions from all platforms. This one's from TikTok. Can you use the equity in your lease towards the purchase of a used vehicle? Most certainly, Eddie, the equity is yours. Once you identify your equity and you know how you're going to get it, who you're selling to, you can either put that money in your bank account or you can use that as a portion of you can use that towards your next car deal. That's your money. Your money. Go ahead, next one. This is another one from TikTok. I need a bit of advice. My son totaled his car. It was a loan Honda. Should I lease or buy this time around? I'm looking into maybe lease an electric vehicle, but I never have leased a vehicle. Okay, it's a very good question. Should I lease or buy? Let me show you. Some of you, let me show you this. Let me ask a very important question. In my book, this is called Step 1. Whenever you hear me say the most important question, this is what I mean. It's the first thing you do. When you want to buy a car, when you like, hey, I'm thinking about a car, this is the first question you ask yourself, and it's the most important question. How many years are you keeping the next car? Come on in, and everybody type your comments. Keep that question up, Dolan. Everyone who's car shopping and who will be soon, how many years are you keeping the next car? Lula, if you just jumped on, I don't come to dealerships because we shop online. So there's no way for me to come to a dealership with you. If you stick around, you'll learn how we shop. There's no reason for you to need somebody with you when you're in your house making car deals. Everybody answer. Everyone who shop, I want you to actually think about this. How many years are you keeping in that car? We're answering that question, Rob. Just tap into the broadcast and what I'm answering before you, because we're literally answering the question someone just asked, should you lease or buy? And the more you stay on the broadcast, because many of you are in the same situation, the more you're going to see someone's going to ask the same question as you. So just listen, and then, most times your question's going to be answered. All right. If it's electric, 3 years. Buying all cash. How many years are you keeping the next car? I got to just pay attention to the people that are listening. I'm sorry. All right. Hyla, I see 3 to 4. Vivian, I see 3 years. All right. 6 years. Okay. 3. Okay. 8 years. Okay. So the first question you're asking yourself, should I lease or buy? You're going to replace that question with how many years am I keeping the car? Now, if the answer is 8 or more, then you should buy. I'm going to tell you why. This has nothing to do with how you're paying for the car. A lot of you may get attached to, if I'm paying cash, does that change anything? If I'm getting it doesn't, because the expense that you need to avoid that's losing you the most money is what I call the unseen expense. It's depreciation. So let me break this down for you very quickly. If you have a $35,000 car, you buy it today, what is that car worth a year from now? Even if you don't drive it, you got a $35,000 car outside in your driveway right now, brand new car. What is it worth a year from now? You didn't drive it 1 mile. Is it worth 35? Is it worth 35? No. Let's go deeper on depreciation, because now we're starting to see with that first question. I'm going to ask you some more. You have to see this is the unseen expense. You buy a car today for 35, you take it back to the dealer in 3 days. Is it worth 35? No. So what does that tell you? There's some expense there, whether you buy or lease. Many of you have been taught, I could just buy a car because I could drive as much as I want. Let's throw another one in there. You buy a car today for 35, you put 30,000 miles on it. Isn't it worth much less a year from now? So this is the unseen expense, and this is how it's working against you. You got to look at depreciation like this. See this curve? This is where you are the day you buy the car. This is what you pay for it. This is how it's dropping over 5-6 years. So now the beautiful thing is long-term owners who has a car outside that they've had for more than 8 years. Type me. Some of you might have been 10 years. Some of you might have been 20 years. this is what you have to see. If you're getting rid of your cars anywhere in this 6-7 year mark, you're losing money. It's no way. It's no way you can replace something you bought and it's dropping like this. But here's the beautiful thing. For those of you who are like, look, I had my car for 12 years. I had my car for 8 years. I had my car for 10 years, 16 years. This is where you're at. That's how your car is losing value. See, the car you have that you've had outside for 10 years, what it's worth today, a year from now, isn't it going to be worth about the same thing? Right? Talking to you long-term owners who keep your cars, you're winning. See, because you've reached the reward. You've reached the reward for buying. The reward for buying is to get to the stage where your car a year from now is going to be worth about the same of what it's worth now. Now, that's when you should be buying. If your goal isn't to get to that level, you should not be buying. You should be shopping for lease deals. Because there's only two ways to beat depreciation. What I just said, and some of you might be saying, Deshone, I can't, I'm not keeping a car that long. You should not be buying cars. You're not getting to that level. You're not getting to the winning. The winning is that. Got a car outside, paid off, barely losing value. It was worth $9,500 last year. It's worth $9,000 this year. That's the reward. Now, for those of you on the other side, if you're on the other side, you should be leasing. And I'm going to show you how drastic it is of a difference when you should be leasing, but you're buying. I'm going to show you that there's no way for you to get a great deal if you are buying when you should be leasing. Look at somebody like, let's pull up, we talked about Danielle earlier. Look at Tope. Tope got a BMW, $54,000 vehicle. Now, some of you know, every $5,000 on the price of a car is how much per month? Every $5,000 on the price of a car is how much per month? It's not 7 years, so it's always 8 years. See, in my book, it's something called the 8-year rule. If you're not keeping your car 8 years, you should not be buying. Okay, good. I see a lot of you are tapped in. Every $5,000 is $100 a month. So when you're looking at a $50,000 car, you should be thinking that's $1,000 a month payment. What about the down payment? Forget about the down payments. Down payments have nothing to do with the deal. We are just talking about boundaries. When we look at a $50,000 car, $1,000 a month, 5-year loan. $20,000 car, $400 a month, 5-year loan. Every $5,000 is about $100 a month. Now let's look at Tope's deal. Tope got a $54,000 BMW. She's paying $756 a month. I'm going to prove to you right now that if you should be leasing because you're a short-term person, you are not keeping your next car 8 years. You're not keeping your previous cars 8 years, yet you bought them. I'm going to show you how much money you've lost listening to people that told you shouldn't be leasing. And we're going to correct that. So Tope got a deal, shopping multiple offers the way I teach. She got multiple offers. She got $690 a month. That's a 1.26% lease. $690 on a $54,000 vehicle. So let's say we're going to break down real quick 3 different ways to get this vehicle right here that she got. One is the way she got it, leasing, because she's a short-term person. Now let's say somebody says, Deshone, I'm going to buy that car. That person buys that car. Let's say they get an incredible price and they save $10,000 off a brand new BMW. Okay? I want to show you that even with extreme cases of big money, I could teach you how to get the best price on the car, but it's not going to change. If your deal is on the wrong foundation, you can't get a great deal. So let's say somebody walks in right after Tope. They look at her car, they see her driving off, and they're like, man, I want that same car. All right. And they end up saving 10 grand. So they buy it for $45,000. Taxes, fees, probably put them up around 48. Every $5,000 we said is $100 a month. $48,000, that's a $950 payment, y'all. 5-year loan. No money down, because Tope put no money down. So we're comparing putting no money into these deals. When you start putting no money into the deals and looking at them, you're going to clearly understand them. Sometimes people use down payment money to confuse you. $690 a month she's paying, they're driving off paying $950. No way. Now a third person comes in. Man, I see those two people just drove off. You got that car used though? Can I get a used one? I don't want to buy a new one. I don't want to get a new one. I know that's going to be expensive. What do you think a brand new vehicle that was $54,000 brand new? What's a good price of that vehicle used, y'all? What's a good price used? I want to hear. Somebody throw something out. 40? Okay. 40? I'm going to take the lowest number. This is how it's going to, I mean, it's not going to be 30. Okay. A $54,000 vehicle. You're not, let's take 21. Okay. No, all right. I can't, we gotta use like real answers. So you're not getting a $54,000 vehicle. Oh, maybe I should preface 3 years old, right? Let's say 35. Let's say 35, right? That's pretty conservative. 54,000 new. They find one for a great price. It's a used car. They get it for 35. Every $5,000, $100 a month. What's the car payment? 700. 700. So you have Tote, who's driving off in a brand new BMW, $690 a month. You got the person who bought thinking it saved $10,000, got an incredible discount, $950. And then you got the person who got a 3-year-old BMW. Warranty will be up next year. They're going to be on their own. They're paying $700. That's what I mean. I told you I was going to make it very clear for you that when you should be leasing, you cannot get a great deal. I don't care how much money you save off the car. I don't care if you buy a used one. When you should be shopping for great lease deals, you're not a long-term person. Now, here's where both of those people can beat Tote. Both of those people can keep their cars 8 years. Long-term, pay the cars off. Now, we see them down the line, and now they're winning. And it's not that Tope is losing. It's just that they've all won now. Everything when you purchase cars, when you get to this stage, if a person bought that car and they're at this stage now, I had this BMW for 8, 9, 10 years, and it's not losing any value anymore. Oh, you won. That's the reward for buying. But if you're not going to get there, you're losing by not leasing. That's the leasing versus buying. I call that the most important question. It's the first question. When you open my book, it's step 1. How many years are you keeping the next car? That is the first thing you ask yourself because it's the foundation of your car deals. So everything that I'm teaching you is out of my new digital book, Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping. 7 steps to saving time, money, and avoiding dealerships. Step 1 is the most important question. Step 7 is delivery. So by the time you get to step 7, you're either having your car delivered or you're picking it up. This is not a book you read and then you go take a test on it. This is an action guide that gets you closer and closer to your vehicle. And when you get to step 7, you're taking delivery. So you can get it for 75% off. Get your copy. Get your 75% off in my TikTok bio, in my Instagram bio. It'll be in your inbox in literally 5 minutes. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, you can scan the QR code or you can go to deshonebook.com. All right. I love talking about this. Go ahead, Dolan. We probably got time for 2 more. Bring in 2 more, Dolan. Bring in the next one. And then we'll wrap. Yep. I drive too much to lease. See, hold on. Before you say that, you got to be very careful making statements. And I'm going to be honest with you, y'all. I will put what I teach and I put my people who learn from me against anybody shopping for cars. Because once you get this and once you get how to shop, you'll be able to do this in 60 minutes. You'll be able to get great car deals in 60 minutes. But in order for you to win, the best thing for you to do is ask questions here, not make statements. All right. This one's from TikTok. Can you use the equity in your lease toward the purchase? Oh, yeah, we got that one already, Dolan. We did that one. Shoot the next one up. This one's from Instagram. How do you compare car prices if the model has different options and packages? Are you talking about new cars? Or are you talking about used cars? let's just break down them both. How do you compare car prices if the model has different options and packages? The way we compare lease offers, we look at them from percentages. See, prices can change, but percentages don't. If I got a $40,000 vehicle and I'm paying under 400, that's a 1% lease. We call that a steal. If somebody offers me a $42,000 car, if it's 1%, then that's $420. That's why we go by percentages. Same thing with used cars. When we're looking at a used car, I need to know what the original MSRP was. I'm going to get this from the Carfax. I'm going to get this from, there's a site called With Clutch. Carfax has an agreement with a couple manufacturers where they have the window sticker there. So I'm going to get I'm not going to buy a used car, and I would never recommend you buy a used car without knowing the original MSRP, because we want to look at the discount percentage. So example, my Infinity truck I bought, it was $54,000 brand new. The other three that I was looking at, one was 52, one was 48, one was 46. So when I compared the discount off of the new price, this one had the greatest discount off the new price. Therefore, it was the best offer. And that doesn't matter that it had more options than everything. It also had a greater discount percentage wise. That's how we compare, no matter what prices are being thrown at us. When you learn to look at things percentage, and I have calculators in my book, I have ways that we make offers. I have calculators that I've invented, online calculators where we plug in all our offers and then it spits out the counter offers that we should be making. All of that is in there. Like there's more stuff in the book than I could ever describe on this one live stream. All right, go ahead. Cue up the last one. Pick a good one. TikTok. Listen to him. He got me a check for $4K for my lease car. I said pick a good one. You picked a good one. Listen, a lot of people, and I'm glad, congratulations on that. A lot of people didn't even know you could sell leases. If you didn't know you could sell a lease, type a question mark. Be honest. If we're honest here, this is how you're going to win. Because at some point, this person right here who just said I got $4K selling my lease, at some point, they didn't know you could sell a lease. But once they discovered it, they're like, okay, I'm going to tap in. I'm going to follow what he says. And that part of their transaction's 4,000 richer. Forget what they bought. Forget how much they got off the car. Just that part is 4K. So all of you who said I didn't know you could sell a lease, think of how much money you have left on the table returning leases to dealerships without doing an equity assessment. So we must do it. So I'm very big on getting this information out. Y'all can get it any way you want. You can go through all my social media videos. As you can see, those videos are made for different types of people. Some of you are high mileage drivers. Some of you are, going to be leasing. Some of you have negative equity. Some of you are going to be purchasing new. Some of you are going to be purchasing used. Some of you are going to be paying cash. So you can go through the social media videos and piece the ones together that's for you. You can also hop on these live streams, piece the information together for you, or you can go and grab your copy of my new book, Car Shopping for People That Hate Car Shopping, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships, and you can just have the whole playbook. And the playbook is in there for everything. So if you're leasing now, it's in there. If you're going to be getting your spouse a car, it's in there. I can't tell you how much the book is going to make you. You'll tell me. Maybe 10, 15, 20 years, you'll tell me, this book, Deshone, this book has saved me $20,000. Because the more cars you get, the more your money you're going to save, even if you're going to get one. But I just want you to have the information, get it how you want it. You can get 75% off your copy as part of our book launch in my TikTok bio. Click that link, and then same thing in Instagram. Click that link and then click the button that says get 75% off my new book. But it's only for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, price goes back up to $97. $24 is better than $97. So, and I'll put the link one more time for you guys on YouTube and Facebook. You can click this link here that says Deshone's book. I just posted it. Or you can scan the QR code. If you might be watching us on a television, you can just scan the QR code with your phone, grab your 75%. So this is what we do. Whenever you see me live, I'd encourage you to invite a friend, tell somebody. If you see a coworker and they're like, man, I got to buy a car soon, invite them to one of our streams, because we get very, very detailed about showing you all the money in your car deals and making sure you know what you're doing. Please, if you're not subscribed to us on YouTube, we got a lot of things coming to YouTube. We're going to be time stamping these questions in future episodes so that you can easily navigate through previous episodes and find your answers. So everything is Deshone the Auto Advisor. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube because we got a lot of stuff coming there. But other than that, have a great day. I'll see y'all in the next broadcast. Everyone who got the book, use it, win with it, and make sure you DM me or email me your success stories. I want to see your deals. Email me your deals, not just your cars. You're going to love it. Once you start making deals and you're confident with the money, you're going to be so excited about sharing the numbers, you might forget to tell me what car you got. You know, Deshone, look at this price I just got. Oh, by the way, it was on this car. You know, so that's what we want. All right. God bless y'all. I'll see you soon.